Yo, what's good YouTube? Today I just want to go over like echoes and explain how they work, because in this game obviously echoes are like artifacts or relic, but in this game they are like not different, but they are obviously different ways to farm them, but also just so more diverse, I guess you could say, and more like intricate, from like ways how to farm them, from how to level them, from the stats to the main stats. There's just so much more different stuff than like artifacts and relics from Star Rail and Genshin. So for new players, I just wanted to explain how they work and what stats you should be looking for, and then obviously how to get better ones, which is the first one I will be going over, which is your data bank. This is the most important thing to level in the game, because once you level it, once you start off with 1 through I think it's 7, you are blue. It's rare. So whenever you defeat an echo, every echo is going to drop, for the most part. Not all of them, there's like a few exceptions, but for the most part every single one of them are going to be blue. They're going to drop rares, which obviously aren't very good. And then after that, once you get to level 8, then not every single one, but you have a higher chance for them to drop from being a rare to now epic, which is obviously better. And then after we farm to 18, the next breakpoint we have to farm to is 15, because that's where we unlock legendaries, which is obviously going to be the best in the game, and the things we have to farm for end game to build all of our characters. And overall, it's just going to be better to level it up from 8 to 15, because the increase for your epics are going to increase. And you see here it's 50-50, it's 50-50 here, but then it goes down to 30-70, which that's just an insane drop to go 20%. And then here, yeah, and then at 14 it goes to 75%, and then here also you get 30, and then it just keeps going, etc, etc. Another important thing early on is at the bottom here at data bank info, where it says cost limit, you start at 10. So you can only, I'll explain that in a second what cost is, but basically you start out with 10 cost. It's basically the amount of like echoes you can put on your character. There's like each one costs a different amount. So let me explain the cost like this. So basically you go to the store, you want to buy some bananas, but you only want to buy 5 bananas. So instead of buying the pack, you want to buy the pack separately with each one separately. But then the store clerk tells you that each one is going to cost different amounts if you buy them separately, because certain ones are better than the other ones. So she tells you the best one is going to be $4, and then the other two that are right below it that aren't as good but are really good are going to be $3, and then the next ones are going to be $2, and then the ones that are less than that are going to be $1. But the $4 and $3 ones are so good, instead of running a bunch of 2s, you just would rather run 1s at the bottom. So then you check out and you only pay $12 for the 5, and basically that's what that is. And then so basically as you increase your level, once you go from 8 to 9, it increases from 10 to 12, which is a very good increase, because we're going to need that to run the optimal loadout. And then obviously in the future, if we do get more, obviously we don't know yet, but if we do get more levels of these, I'd assume that the cost might increase. Maybe, probably not. I wouldn't assume it would. I'd assume that this probably would never increase, but you never know. Look at Genshin 5.0, you know, don't want to talk about leaks, but it's so. But for now, that's basically what it is. And that's why this is so just important to, what's it called, grind, because it increases your chances, increases your cost limit, the base drop rate, the enhanced drop rate, which there are, like if you've ever played Pokemon, there are shinies in this game, which are basically like the better versions. And then like everyone, I'll put up a picture, but everyone's been farming the turtle, because there's like a guaranteed spawn every single day for the turtle. And when you go to that spot, the turtle will be there. And then obviously every single day you just keep going to see if it's a shiny or not. And it's just cool to have a shiny in this game and grind shinies. So yeah. And then next is Echo Gallery. This is just like, once again, like the Pokebank, I guess you could say, where it's just every single echo. I've basically caught all of them except for this one. And then you have Sonata Gallery. This is basically all the sets. And so these are the echoes that when you catch them, these go to different sets. So, and whenever you're farming echoes, you can't just farm one specific one and it's going to drop for this specific set, because every echo is going to have multiple sets. Like you can see for Sierra Gal, you have this guy, the Hushif Cyclone, but then you can also go down to Rejuvenating Glow, and he's just also there. So it is RNG on the set that drops whenever you get the relic. That's why this makes it even harder and more of a grind for relics in this game. Because I made this mistakes when I first started grinding, thinking that I was just going to go farm this one and it was going to be for this specific set. And then after a couple killing a few, I went and looked and it was just all different sets. And I was like, oh, well, not that GG's. So make sure not to make that mistake. And next is the data merge. This is basically like the relic box or the synergize, whatever. You basically just put 5 of them in here and then you just get one. So I actually haven't done this yet, so why not? Let's try it out here. Oh, it gave me a purple. Oh, it gave me 2 purples. And then I'd assume if I put blue, wait, what do I get if I put blues in there though? Okay, so I put all blues in there. And then let's see what I get. Okay, so it's not, okay. I'm assuming once we put all purples in here or all legendaries, we are going to get legendaries, and that's just really good, especially if you're going to grind a lot. This is overall really good because it just gives you a bunch of free rewards basically. Tacit fields, do not grind these yet. These are like in-game content that we should not be doing anytime soon. These are basically like relic domains, artifact domains, where it's like you go in here and you can just fight a couple of enemies, and then afterwards they drop some echoes. But for now, it's not really good because they don't even drop legendaries, they only drop purples at this level. And second off, it's just a waste of stamina that you could be doing so many other things for, because you can just get purples just by grinding and playing the open world. This is something that once we get to end game and we're just like logging and spreading our resin on artifacts every day, this is basically what that's going to be. But for now, it's just not worth doing at all. So just make sure not to, because I did it once to get the first time clear rewards and it was just not worth it, because you have to actually spend your resin to get the first time clear rewards. So then next, I want to go over the cost thing. I'm gonna go over here because it's more simpler. So basically, like you see here under this username, you can see the 4 where it says cost 4 on the right. Basically, you go to this one, it says cost 3, except this one goes cost 1. It's not based on rarity, so if you get a legendary, it's not going to all be of the cost 4. The only cost 4 in the game are going to be the boss ones. So you see this one is a green one, this is the blue one, and they're both cost 4. It's because they're the boss ones, which the boss ones are the best in slot for every single character. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but for the most part, every single character that I've been building, it has been their best in slot. So basically, you farm the bosses for them to level them up, and then you get the echoes, and that's gonna be your 4 cost. And then you're gonna run 2 3 costs to equal out to 10, and then you're gonna run 2 1 cost to equal out to 12, since the cost max is 12. And then for your 4s, obviously you're gonna be looking for, like, depending on the character you're building, it really just depends. For like main DPS, crit rate, crit damage, obviously. In this game, you can run crit rate as a main stat and then get crit rate as a substat. So as you can see, this one that I've roasted on, I rolled crit damage as the main stat, and then I was able to put, this is an insane piece, by the way. Just want to, you know, flex a little bit. It's at purple, but still. So basically, you can see here I rolled crit damage as the main stat, and I was able to roll crit damage as a substat, which is insane. So yeah, whenever you're building a character, just make sure that like whatever your main stat you're going for, you can also roll that as a substat, so you can get the most optimal loadout. And then basically, I want to show you on one of my main characters that I'm using how to like build. Like you can see here, she has her 4 as the main cost, 3 3 1 1, like I was saying, and then her main best one is going to be the boss one. So overall, like I said, echoes is just an insane amount of grind, because the amount of substats that you can roll and main stats you can roll, it's just, there's like liberation damage bonus, attack percent, regular attack, HP percent, regular HP, defense percent, regular HP, liberation damage bonus, heavy attack damage bonus, pretty sure there's even basic attack damage bonus, there's crit rate, crit damage, energy recharge. There's just so many different substats, it's insane. So like overall, it really is just like so much grinding, because you have to get this specific set, and once you get that thing to after you defeat it enough times, you get this specific set. Then you have to get this specific main stat. And after you get this specific main stat, then you have to get the specific substats. It is, I will say, at the end of the day though, for like end game, when we get to that point, it is going to be quite nice, I'd say, because it gives us something to like actually like build a character and like actually try and like make diverse loadouts. Like for this game, instead of just being crit damage, crit rate that you're rolling for main DPS, you can also try and roll for her resonance liberation damage bonus, which is her ultimate, her basic attack damage bonus if you want to roll for like just a basic attack character. I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can get their skill percent as a substat too, which is also insane. Okay, so I have 3 right here just lined up somehow. You can see here it says basic attack damage bonus, resonance liberation damage bonus, and heavy attack damage bonus. 3 different things part of characters' kids. It really is just overall just insane how like diverse you can make a character and just run different loadouts for people in this game. I think really overall, it really is just a nice touch and a nice thing for end game to grind, to be able, like, and people are going to probably want to build like different characters different ways. Like obviously not all the time, but there are probably going to be some exceptions where they're going to be running like a character like that just spams their skill or ultimate. Instead, they're going to be running a full basic attack build, full ultimate build, whatever. It's just going to be a really cool thing to see in the future. So yeah, I really just want to go over and explain echoes for new players. A little bit of yapping at the end, that's fine. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know how y'all echo grind is going. And don't forget to like and subscribe.